Alright, I've been waiting for a while to do this review, and it's finally time. I have shot over 10,000 rounds out of my CZ Scorpion SBR. I bought this in May of 2015, created my trust in the same month, and submitted my paperwork to the ATF for it to be SBR. I did my first online Form 1 incorrect. I put my name, where the trust name should have been. So it got declined the first time, and I had to send it back in. I think I had to wait maybe about 3 more weeks, and then it finally got approved. After that, I still had to wait because at that time CZ had not released the 922R compliance kits in the stocks. It came with the folding stock, pistol grip, some things for the trigger. What else did it come with? Magazine plates for it to be in compliance with that stupid rule. My setup on it right now is pretty simple. For the most part, it is all stock. The internals, as far as being made by CZ, I use these rings with the MS3 sling whenever I'm out at the range. Iron sights, Magpul vertical grip, the Sig Sauer Romeo 5. This is the third optic that's been in rotation on it. I had the Leopold LCO on it and a EOTech, I believe it was the 512 on it before that. I have the Poor Man's D-Ball sight mark. It is a visible white light and a visible green laser. I just like the idea of being able to aim from the hip in case I have to say the Scorpion is probably one of the best guns to own out there. No, I have not shot even half the guns, quarter of the guns out there to shoot. But as far as modern, readily available pistols, rifles, shotguns, I would say I've at least had a couple shots behind most of them. And for what the Scorpion is, for the price and the experience I've had with it, you can't really beat it. So what is the Scorpion? It is a semi-automatic version of a submachine gun. And when you look at the other options out there for submachine guns, and for those who have a civilian version of it, you cannot beat the Scorpion. The other options out there you have are the P90 and you have the PS90. For the PS90, you have the 16-inch barrel, and you're going to look at a price no less than $1,300. Another popular rival to the Scorpion is the Sig MPX. You're going to be looking at no less than probably $1,200 today. The Chris Vector has their Gen 1 and Gen 2 out. You can probably get a Chris Vector. Their prices have gone down significantly. Probably can get a Gen 1 pistol only for around maybe $1,000 even, maybe $1,100. Kings of the submachine guns, who have made some of the most prolific ones out there, HK. There is no civilian MP7 variant. There is the HK MP5 and the HK UMP. The UMP, you would have to buy a USC and convert it. You're probably looking at no less than $3,000 if you go that route. As far as the HK MP5, there was never a true civilian version of it. There was a rifle form and then some other ones today. Easily over $3,000 if you buy a genuine HK like that. There are copies, those like made from Zenith, which are still going to cost you $1,700 to $2,000. Magazines are ridiculous prices, and HK parts are very expensive also. IWI has their Uzi Pro, which you're going to spend about $1,000 also. And then B&T has several options out there, like the TP9, that's going to be close to $1,800. The P26, right over $1,000. The KH9, over $2,000. And probably the most popular B&T is APC 9 or 45, and you are looking over $2,000 for that. Along with B&T, you're looking for at $80 per magazine, HK over $80, around $80 per magazine, Sig MPX, $50 a magazine. The Chris Vector and the PS90 probably have the cheapest magazines. Chris Vector, you can get the Glock magazines, not too bad, and also you have the other aftermarket Magpul and Chinese copy Glock magazines. PS90 magazines you can get for about $25 for the 50 rounders, and there are Chinese copies for around $12. And then you have the CZ Scorpion. It is the only one in the whole category of the semi-automatic submachine gun form that you can easily get under $1,000. I mean, and also the craftsmanship. I'm going to get to the reliability in a second. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. Magazines, $20. You can get 32 round magazines from, I think, Manticore Arms. I think those are about $30. It is cheap to replace any parts. I haven't had to. I do look on CZ's website, but they do make the parts readily available if you do need to make any kinds of repairs. So how reliable has the CZ Scorpion been after 10,000 rounds? I will have to say 100%. The few issues I had, I will chalk that up to completely as issues with the ammo. I have shot at minimum 10,000 rounds through it. I know it has been more than 10,000. Those times where I shared the 9mm with a few other handguns and stuff like that, those did not go into the equation, along with the times I tested out some hollow point ammunition. But as far as the majority of ammo that has gone through it, 3,750 of the rounds have been Speer 124 grain full metal jacket, 2,100 rounds of Winchester white box 115 grain, 3,000 rounds between Tula and Monarch steel cased ammo, 500 rounds of the Fed Arm remanufactured 9mm ammo, 150 rounds of MagTech, 300 rounds of Federal aluminum case 9mm. I believe that's 115 grain. I do have a suppressor for it. It's currently being held hostage at the local range. I go up there for conjugal visits sometimes. I do have shot it suppressed. I've shot 50 rounds of the Privy Partisan 147 grain and 200 rounds of the Browning 9mm 147 grain. I have shot other kinds of ammo through it too. I recently had an issue with that US cartridge stuff, the polymer jacket ammo. Do not recommend it. I've tested some hollow point ammunition through it, some DRT 85 grain. I've tried the Hornady 135 and 147 grain ammo through it, Speer Gold Dot 124 grain, and Remington Saber 124 grain. Right now, as far as home defense goes, I have it loaded up with Federal HST ammo. As far as issues with the gun, I have had none that I'm going to chalk up to issues with the Scorpion itself. All of it is with the ammo, in my opinion, and those occurred with the Federal aluminum cased ammunition and some Monarch ammunition. The Tula didn't give me any issues, but with the Monarch I had some very underpowered rounds that could not even cycle the bolt back, and I had some stove piping with the Federal aluminum cased ammo. But with all the other ammo I've shot through it, I have not had any issues whatsoever. Alright, I have it broken down a little so you guys can get an idea of what the wear and tear on it looks like. The hammer just has a little bit of warping or deformation, especially on the top right here. I do not clean this as much as I should. I might have cleaned it about 5 times since I've had it, but it still operates well even when dirty. The first cleaning probably came around after I shot 3,000 rounds through it. But this bolt is still in great condition. I haven't had to replace any of the parts on it. Everything's still working as it should. But for the price I paid for this, I think I got it from Impact Guns. They had this whole, I guess, kit that went along with it. I got a bag, 4 mags, the Scorpion, and a SB15 brace. For all that, I paid, I believe, about $9.50 in total, and that was back in 2015. If you're considering buying one of these, you should not hesitate to do so. Without a doubt, you will be happy with your purchase. Of course, I would suggest making it an SBR. Back when I did it, it was illegal for me to shoulder my SB15 brace. Times have changed. Maybe SBR is pointless to you since you can use your arm brace for the exact same thing. But as far as the looks, I think it just looks great when you put it all together. There are very few other things I would recommend you get over the Scorpion. I've shot a MPX plenty. I owned a PS90 for some time. I ended up trading that off. The Scorpion is one I would not consider trading off for almost anything else. It's my favorite, and I'll probably run it till the receiver blows out.